Hey everyone, welcome to another review. Here's my review for the movie The Blair Witch. Yes, The Blair Witch. This is the new 2016 version or sequel to The Blair Witch Project. Yes, as you all know, back in the late 1990s, the movie The Blair Witch Project came out, and it was a found footage horror movie, and it was a groundbreaking, very revolutionary horror movie because when The Blair Witch Project came out, everyone thought the movie was a real movie. It was like a documentary, and this happened to real people and stuff, and it went down as one of the scariest movies of that time. And then when people found out it was just a movie, a found footage movie, people were calling it the stupidest horror movie of all time, and as it ages, it's a very mixed reviewed movie. When it first came out, it had so much critical praise. Now, people are very mixed. Some people call it the stupidest horror movie ever, and some people call it a terrific horror movie. And as for me, I'm in the category, the more positive category. I really enjoy The Blair Witch Project. I loved it when I was younger, and I still love it right now because it's the fear of the unknown. There's nothing more scarier than something you don't see and stuff, and sometimes being lost is scary enough. Like, I've been lost before, and it's a damn scary feeling, so I like the story of three teenagers making a documentary about this witch, this Blair Witch that haunts this forest, and basically they get lost in the forest and they can't get home, and they're seeing the same rock and trees again, and basically each friend starts disappearing one by one, and it's such an intense movie. It's very claustrophobic and very paranoia in the movie. The movie gives you severe paranoia watching it, and that's why I loved The Blair Witch Project. And yeah, I always thought it was a really good movie, and yeah, a few years later, they made a shitty sequel called The Book of Shadows. Yes, the movie doesn't even have The Book of Shadows in it, but it's called Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows, and I consider that movie one of the worst horror movies ever. It's in, like, the top 10. It was in my top 10 worst horror movies, and yeah, so basically, all we had was one good Blair Witch movie and a shitty sequel, but now, years later, now in 2016, we have a new sequel to The Blair Witch Project, and it's called The Blair Witch. And the story of this movie is about a group of college kids. They go into a forest and they're filming themselves, and they're all searching for the main character's sister who was involved with the Blair Witch Project and stuff. You all know who we're talking about and stuff, and yeah, basically, when they're in the forest, they get lost, just like the first one, and then they're getting, like, hunted and getting taken out one by one, just like the first one and stuff, but this one is a more modern version. The cameras are more clear, they have more clear shots in the movie and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot more jump scares, because it's, 2016 and stuff. They do that with horror movies nowadays and stuff, and yeah, it's a more modernization of the Blair Witch Project, and honestly, how was the movie? It was okay. I wasn't, highly anticipating this movie because, to be honest, I don't think you can really make a proper sequel to the Blair Witch Project. It's a good standalone movie. There's nothing really much else to tell after the movie, so I don't know why they keep making sequels to this movie, but they made another one, and it's way better than Book of Shadows, because Book of Shadows is a piece of shit, but this movie was just kind of average, pretty generic. It's almost like the Evil Dead remake. Remember the one that came out in 2013? Yeah. Remember that movie that you don't remember? Yeah. I actually didn't hate that movie. That movie was actually okay. It had some pretty chilling moments, and it was kind of gross, and there was some very interesting parts in that movie. The reason I don't love it is because it's nothing like the Evil Dead movies. The Evil Dead movies are campy, fun, silly movies. That one was just a very serious, gory horror movie, so it was very generic, very average, and I never saw the movie ever again. I only saw it once in 2013 in the theaters, and The Blair Witch I find very similar. It's just kind of generic, very average, and it's definitely not a movie I would ever watch again, but it's got some good stuff in it. There's some pretty chilling moments. There is some good atmosphere, and because it is a found footage movie, so it's cheap, but they do have some clever shots in the movie, and some very clever editing, and there are some scenes that I'm like, oh, that was pretty clever, and I did want to know where the story was going, and I did want to know how the movie was going to end and stuff, and who was going to get out of this forest and stuff, and, yeah, the movie had me intrigued, and there was a lot of entertaining scenes, and, yeah, it's a horror movie. I like a good horror movie. This movie isn't bad. It's not going to go under as the great horror movies of 2016. It's no The Witch, it's no Lights Out, it's definitely no Conjuring 2 or Hush, but it's okay. Like, if you want to go see this movie, like, at a matinee, I could definitely recommend it. It's not a movie I don't think you should pay full price to see, but if you love horror movies, and you love, like, every sort of horror movie, and you just want to have a fun night out with your friends, then, yeah, I could recommend this movie. The characters in this movie, though, are very generic, very stock horror movie characters, very cliched characters. See, in the Blair Witch Project, I cared about all three of those characters. I didn't care about a single character in this movie and stuff, and yeah, I just didn't care. And this movie does show more, which took away from the fear, because again, what made the Blair Witch Project scary is that you didn't see the Blair Witch, and you didn't see what was happening. Again, fear of the unknown. There's not much of unknown. They do show a lot more in this movie, and it kind of took away from the original, and it took away the fear and stuff, and yeah, I had a big problem with that, but again, there was some good things. The score for this movie was okay. There's some clever editing, some decent shots, you know, it's low budget, and there is some entertainment value with the movie. Again, if you love horror movies, you might have fun with this movie. I actually did not hate it. I didn't walk out of the movie thinking, oh, this movie sucks. The only thing I thought was, it was just kind of basic, kind of average, very generic, kind of just like the Evil Dead movie in 2013. That's like the perfect comparison. This is just like the Evil Dead movie of 2013. Not meaning that they're the same movie, just how good they are. Of greatness, they're both just average movies, and that's what this movie is. This movie is just average, and yeah, I can recommend it to some people. Some people might not like it, some people might like it, who the heck knows. I don't know who this movie's for, because it might be for Blair Witch fans, but I'm a Blair Witch fan, and I found this movie just average, so I don't know who this movie's for, but check it out if you want to. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Just go see it at a matinee price. Okay, so yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the movie Blair Witch a 6 out of 10. So yeah, nothing amazing, nothing great, just kind of average. So yeah, that was my review for the movie The Blair Witch. So in the comment section below, please tell me, what is your favorite Blair Witch movie, and do you even care about the Blair Witch movies? Let me know in the comment section below. My favorite, obviously, is the first one. It's way better than these sequels. But what is your favorite? What are your thoughts and opinions of the Blair Witch movies? Comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.